a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, two children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be, but one will wear the star and one will wear the crescent. They'll grow up and change from friends to enemies, but we are one.
Hello, it's another lovely Saturday, and we are pleased to welcome you to another edition of the program Peace, Unity, and Security Education, a program aimed at conscientizing citizens towards imbibing the moral and spiritual virtues of love, peace, unity, public trust, integrity, hard work towards ensuring a corruption-free and a prosperous country where fairness, justice prevail. In today's edition, we will be looking at the role of religion in solving economic problem, the Baha'i perspective. And our guest, as usual, is retired Commissioner of Police, Barrister Lawrence Alobi, who will be taking us through this perspective. But first, with a prayer. Sir, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning. Let us pray. This prayer for humanity, and it was revealed by Abdul Baha. Let us pray. It's a prayer for humanity. O thou kind Lord, thou hast created all humanity from one same stock. Thou hast decreed that all shall belong to the same household. In thy holy presence, they are all thy servants, and all mankind are sheltered beneath thy tabernacle. All have gathered together at thy table of bounty. All are illumined to the light of thy providence. O God, thou art kind to all, thou hast provided for all, thou shelterest all, conferred life upon all, thou hast endowed each and all with talent and faculties, and all are submerged in the ocean of thy mercy. O thou kind Lord, unite all, let the religions agree, make the nations one, so that they may see each other as one family, and the whole earth as one home. May they all live together in perfect harmony. O God, rise above the banner of the oneness of mankind. O God, establish the most great peace. Cement thou, O God, the hearts together. O thou kind Father, good God, gladden our hearts through the fragrance of thy love. Brighten our eyes through the light of thy guidance. Delight our ears with the melody of thy word, and shelter us all in the stronghold of thy providence. Thou the mighty and powerful, thou the forgiving, and thou art one who overlooketh all shortcomings of mankind.
Thanks for the prayer. Now, religion deals with people's belief in the Creator, while economy has to do with the production of goods and services and the management of available resources for the good of the people. At what point does religion and economy meet? What is the relationship between religion and economy?
Religion is all about the well-being of man. Religion enables us to know first and foremost, how we relate with our Creator. Religion enables us to relate to one another, to live with one another. Religion enables us to imbibe those moral and spiritual values. And religion enables us to recognize the manifestations of God or prophet of God that God has sent to us as an intermediary between mankind and the Creator. So religion has a lot to do with the totality of the life of man, not only in this world, in the next world. You see, religion, just like a child in the womb, a fetus develops in the womb, develops physical organs in the womb, prepared to come to this mortal physical world. So man in this physical world has to develop himself to have a happy life on this mortal world and prepare for a blissful sojourn back to his Creator in the next world. So religion is very, very important in our life. And economy is about man, the well-being of man, his livelihood, its well-being, its happiness, its prosperity, and so forth, its capacity and productive capacity and so forth. So religion helps to build those values, enable man. That when man creates economic policies and institutions, to be able to run them, be policies that touch it, that will mainstream spiritual and moral values and integrate moral and spiritual values. A policy that is devoid of this moral and spiritual values has no value to man. So Paula says that science and religion must agree, and because science will bring about inventions, and religion will now tell you how to use those inventions, those scientific inventions, for the good of man. So religion and that religious laws enables man to cope with the beastly attitude, what Sigmund Freud called the id, animal nature in man. So religion enables us to develop those moral and spiritual values to show the God in us. It is said that God created man's image and likeness. The scripture states that. So that likeness, God likeness in us, cannot manifest that in our deeds and action towards others. And so religion can inculcate that in us. So religion is very, very important. And economics is about the well-being of man. It's about trade, commerce, to earn a living, production, marketing and buying, and so forth. So religion will now give a kind of like a framework on which man can go about his economic and commercial business. What regulates man's attitude is the law. Laws, policies. Like now we're not talking about the lockdown, for instance. It will regulate our conduct, our movement activities, and it's meant to achieve a goal. The lockdown is to protect our life from the virus, the spread of the virus. So if there are universal laws, the most important thing is that the Baha'i faith, Baha'u'llah emphasizes on the oneness of God, the oneness of mankind. That if that oneness, the consciousness of the oneness of mankind, that we're all children of one creator, one Father, we're like fingers of one hand, Baha'u'llah says, the leaves of one branch, fruits of one tree. When they make policies that are universal in character, in authority, and all leaders of the world, people of the world, sincerely, wholeheartedly embrace this consciousness, have this consciousness of oneness of mankind. What about policy? And then they make laws and policies that are aimed at achieving the well-being of mankind. There will be the issue of ignorance, prejudice, animosity, antagonism, fragmentation will not arise. Because these are the things that create problems. Honestly, competition. What started in China is now snowballed to all parts of the world. So, and the Baha'i faith emphasizes on collaboration and cooperation, not competition.
And now they're talking about economic problems. What are the factors responsible for economic problems in a given polity?
Like what I'm suffering today, because we believe that what mankind is going through this COVID-19 is because mankind has disobeyed God. Mankind has deviated from the path which God has given. The covenant is there. The covenant between man and God is that God will always guide man. God has always shown his love. But mankind has become heedless. Mankind has followed the path which God has given the path. God has a divine plan for the whole world. It's his creation. He has created the world. He has a divine plan for mankind. And he unfolds this plan from time to time. And the plan now is that Baha'u'llah is a mouthpiece of God on earth. Baha'u'llah is a divine physician God has sent to educate us, to heal our wounds, to salvage us from ignorance. So the problem, because of most of this problem, is ignorance. Mankind today is so preoccupied by materialism. Mankind is so preoccupied by greed. This inordinate ambition mankind is so imbued with the issue of money and power. Who are the inordinate gap between the rich and the poor? Is a cause of war, cause of conflict, instability in the country, even crime. So look at today with this lockdown, the poor or the downtrodden, they have no means of livelihood. They seek for government intervention. So when we have laws and policies, when laws that will make for ensure that you don't owe more than too much, I don't have more than the minimum. It also means that the poor must have his needs and the rich must not earn more than what they should need. We should concern with their needs, not desires. If laws are provided in such a way that those laws that will make sure that each individual, the rich have their wealth, but their needs should not be beyond their reach, beyond their need. If what is concerned should be the need, not because we want to accumulate wealth. Then also the poor also need. If the needs of the poor are met and the needs of the rich are met, then there will be no conflict. So that policies and laws are universal in character, that will integrate the moral and spiritual values, that will also ensure that the well-being of every human being is being provided, that you have the right to your life, right to work, right to your basic needs, and also the issue of consultation. Bible says consultation promotes justice. Sincere consultation. The consultation should be free from partisan politics, or should be detached, and then we should make consultation to be sincere, and it should be based on trustworthiness. Bible says man was created to contribute towards the ever-advancing civilization. We have to be productive and contribute towards the well-being of society. So religion has a lot to do, and the causes of this economic crisis, because one, man has deviated from the teachings of God. Man has not been able to imbibe or exhibit in a private and public life those moral virtues, to show that the moral virtues of kindness, of honesty, of compassion, of truthfulness, of empathy, of justice, of sincerity. So when we exhibit those attributes, those virtues, and integrate them in our public life and private life, there's no need for corruption. No need for somebody, and also if we are concerned with our needs, not desires, we have a sense of contentment, and we're able to do based on moderation. If we have this, if we integrate this in our life, we have this in our life, in our public and private life, there's enough for everybody to meet our needs. So if we are concerned with our needs, there will be no need for anybody to cheat or exploit, or what decisions are based on true consultation to serve, and there's a consensus based on the general good of the world and the society.
One of the principles of the Baha'i faith is spiritual solution to economic problem. I just wanted to elaborate on this principle a little.
Yeah, you see, religion first and foremost is the teachings that have been revealed by divine educators, manifestations of God who have been sent to us, like Moses, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, Zoroaster, the Bab, and today Baha'u'llah. They bring these teachings, divine revelations that's revealed to them by God, and is for the good of mankind. And religion must be free from ignorance, from prejudice. Religion is based on the true teachings of God, and it's all aimed at transforming the life of the individual and the world and society at large, the world at large. So the Baha'i faith emphasizes that religion will go along with is the greatest instrument to transform our character, our economic character, economic values, and attitude. So Baha'i faith believes that the Baha'i faith teaches us that we should ensure that we transform our character and our life. That our life should not be just based on materialism. That mankind is both a material being and a spiritual being, and we should concern how to develop our spiritual growth and material growth. But mankind today has become only concerned with material and scientific development to the detriment of a spiritual life, spiritual growth, or spiritual value. So when we now balance both the spiritual and material developed progress of man, there are the two wings of a bed. So if mankind develop those spiritual qualities in our life, which include all those virtues, those attributes, those are the attributes and the image of God in us. When we exhibit in our private and public life, we see that the world will be a better place for everybody. There will be no room for you to cheat, no room for you to exploit, no room for you to embezzle money that does not belong to you. One of the teachings of the Bible said we should not take anything that does not belong to you without the consent of the owner, however worthless. We don't take it, that is honesty. You have to be honest, and we should make yourself worthy of the trust of your neighbor. You should make yourself worthy of the trust of other people. That trust will build confidence. So trustworthy character is very, very important. We need to be honest in our dealings. We need to be concerned with our needs. We need to have moderation and we need to avoid greed and avarice.
Well, we'll go on a short break now. When we return, the program continues. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, the program is Peace, Unity, and Security Education, and our guest has been Retired Commissioner of Police, Barrister Lawrence Anobi. The topic is the role of religion in solving economic problems. Some religious bodies do embark on poverty alleviation programs. Is this scriptural?
Yeah, compassion. Compassion is a virtue. Kindness. You need to show compassion. God is a compassionate God. God is a merciful God. You show compassion, love, and you have to be kind to one another. That we need to share, because the joy, your happiness will bring my own happiness. So we Baha'is believe that we need to assist each another, support one another, so that both of us will be strong. Because when both of us are strong and happy, they should be true happiness. But if you are happy and I'm happy, you will not be very comfortable. So it is good for us to have the less privileged amongst us. But also we should be rich, not forget, should not neglect the poor. Support them and assist them, empower them, so they become productive and become useful to society. The poor should not be abandoned. The poor should not be relegated. The poor should be given encouragement, and the poor should be supported. But then we should give them we have to help them to build their capacity and capability, so they can also be productive, so they can contribute to the society, the well-being society. Like Bible says, we are all, each individual is a member of the world, member of the family of mankind. But one thing is that the Bible does not encourage is begging. We don't encourage begging. You need to be productive. You need to be, because God has created all of us to be productive, to contribute to the betterment of the world. And it is by building our God important that education is universal education, complete education. Everybody should be educated, and we should have to be involved in craft and science. That's why science and engineering must be work in harmony. So we need to develop our capacity, in a trade, a profession, or anything we can do that leads to make us productive and contribute towards our well-being and well-being of society. So we Baha'is also, we encourage supporting the poor, but we don't encourage begging. Everybody has to be productive. Everybody has to make sure that we're up on the government side. The government should ensure that we make provisions and make sure that the people are empowered, and people should also make effort to be productive. The most important thing again is that if the government might provide all these things, if the individual we don't obey the will of God. For instance, the rich still embezzle money. Why? He has enough, but he still embezzle because that lack of that spiritual character. That lack of that trustworthiness. So the most important is that people of the world have to obey God. We should work based on the principle of reciprocity. We should cooperate and collaborate with one another, and not to engage on inordinate competition. Competition that is all out of meet our selfish desires. But we should work for the collective interest of all of us. So each individual should be a social good to the other. Each individual should be showing God in him or her. When we show God in him on us, like we promote peace and unity and security and the well-being of mankind. So the important thing is that for us to obey the word of God, walk the two parts of which God has given to us, choosing messengers that are given to us in this age.
Another principle of the Baha'i faith is the equality of men and women. The conscious application of this principle, can it in any way help to address economic problems in society?
Of course. Like the men and women are the two wings of a bird. If the women fall, Bible says the men and women should be an equal opportunity to develop social equality. They should be educated, they should be empowered. If the both of men and women are empowered, it helps the society. But both of them will be contributing. None will be parasitic. Both of them will be contributing towards the well-being of society. So that's why we have to eliminate this. That we should eliminate gender prejudice, ethnic prejudice, political prejudice, racial prejudice. We should see the goodness in each one another, and we should have to build the capacity of one another so they can be productive and contribute to the well-being of society. So women have a lot to contribute to the well-being of society. So they should be encouraged and also supported, and given that the capacity, building their capacity in terms of education, in terms of scientific development, and let them contribute to the well-being of society. So men and women, the Baha'i faith emphasizes should be given equal opportunity to develop and to contribute to the well-being of society.
Now, how far can collaboration among religions go to address economic problems in society?
Yeah, the Baha'i faith, one of the principles is the oneness of religion. All religions the main purpose of religion is to bring man, to draw man closer to God, to enable man behave in line with the teachings of God, to build a peaceful society, to build a world that is devoid of conflict, wars, and oppression, or hunger, and all the social vices that have been promoted, that have been confronting man. So religions have a lot to contribute, in the sense that religion can come together. If all religions believe that they are from one source and they ought to serve the interests of humanity, and if religions believe in the oneness of God, the oneness of religion, there will be no need for conflict. The crisis between some religions is due to ignorance. They are ignorant of the fact that all divine laws are from God, and all creatures are from God. But what is happening today in the world, COVID-19 is an example for mankind to realize that we're all one family. What's happened in China is that now snowballed to open up the world. So that the Bible says the world is by one country and mankind are its citizens. So everybody, whether religious institutions, all agencies, all people of the world should unite together and have that consciousness that we are one family and work for the betterment of all of us.
Now, the Baha'i principle of compulsory universal education, does it also help to address economic problem? This principle of compulsory universal education?
Yes, because education builds a capacity. Education liberates you from ignorance. Education empowers you to know, to be able to build your capacity, to be able to achieve some scientific knowledge. So education is very, very important. That's why in the Bible, education is compulsory, and it's compulsory for everybody to be educated because it will liberate you from ignorance. So the things we do it out of ignorance. And when we're now liberated, knowledge is power. When we now become knowledgeable, apply that knowledge for the good of man, it will solve an economic problem. But when we're ignorant And because of ignorance, the man is so busy concerned about acquisition of wealth, and from this wealth that he may not even need. So, but with education, spiritual education, you be concerned with their need, not desires. And but we Baha'is believe in the previous messages of God, and believe in the present message of God, who is Baha'u'llah. And maybe look forward, maybe God it revealed that after 1,000 years or so, God sends a message that when man begins to pollute his religion. So when man begins to pollute the divine teachings of God, God will not just abandon us. God is a loving God. He's a caring God. He will guide us, send us another messenger who will guide us to the right path. It's only when we are heedless that we now have calamity.
You talked about collaboration among religion. What would be the impact where there is religious hostilities, prejudices, and bias? How does this impact on the economy?
Of course, negatively. Because if there's prejudice, if there's crisis and conflict, it is animosity, there will be no trust. You don't care for the other, you're really concerned about yourself, or you're protecting your parochial. But if we now know that universality, that universal consciousness, the oneness of mankind, oneness of God, oneness of religion, they are working toward for the good of mankind, we don't need for you to have any sense of any element of prejudice. And in that case, you work for the good of all. You will not be carried away by fragmentation or divisionist mentality. You are concerned with the good of all humanity, and it is also based on the sincere consultation based on to promote justice, and also ensure that all our attitude and actions are geared based on those moral and spiritual values that will promote the well-being of mankind. Not only the important thing is that our growth should not only be based on material growth, should also be concerned with our spiritual growth. Because spiritual growth is what will take us to the next world. Our material growth ends in this material world, but spiritual growth takes us to the next eternal realm.
All right, okay. Well, for those that want to know more about the Baha'i faith, how can they reach the faith?
Yeah, the Baha'i faith is a universal religion, divine religion, and you can see on the screen our office. Our head of office is in Abuja, is in Guarenkpa. The office is being projected on the screen, and also our office in Zauda, and our regional office in Lagos. You can also go to our website Google Baha'i. If you Google our website, you'll be able to get more information about the Baha'i faith, and with that, you'll be able to get more information about the Baha'i faith. And becoming a Baha'i, we don't have rituals like Orthodox religion. Ours is that if you believe in the oneness of God, the oneness of mankind, and the oneness of religion, and I believe that the purpose of religion is to promote peace, love, and unity, and believe in world peace and world unity, and believe in teachings of Baha'u'llah, then you're a Baha'i. And just the point is that if you are convinced, you need to set a declaration card, and you affirm that you will promote those teachings, and you try to apply those teachings in your popular private life, that you are a Baha'i. So it doesn't require any ritual, except that it's based on you believing those principles as given to us by Baha'u'llah.
Well, our time is fast spent. We'll stop here for now and prepare to come your way again same time next week. But before we go, let's leave you with a prayer.
This is a prayer for teaching. Oh God, my God, aid thy trusted servants to have loving and tender hearts. Help them to spread amongst all the nations of the earth the light of guidance that cometh from the company on high. Verily thou the strong, the powerful, the mighty, the ups of doing, the ever giving. Verily thou the generous, the gentle, the tender, the most bountiful. This prayer was revealed by Abdul Baha.
Thanks for staying with us.
In a bombed out room in Belfast, a young boy is crying. He's alone and he don't understand how the teachings of one book, built on love and understanding, could cause the hurt and killing in his land. In an old part of Jerusalem, two children are playing. They run and laugh the way that it should be. grow